Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso, and I'm excited to be with you today to talk about a study that came out of the GAO. Each year, the GAO puts together a study of government efficiency and effectiveness, and this report is always really interesting. It actually came out in June of 2022, but we've had so many other things to talk about on the blog that were high priority exposure drafts that we didn't get a chance to talk about it. But we have an opportunity today to kind of take a deeper dive into what this is looking at. So for those of you familiar with GAO, they have a really important role. They are the people who help write the Yellow Book. Yellow Book obviously addresses things like waste and abuse, and they really are the oversight as you go through this for governmental entities. And so they are looking at things like waste and abuse. And so when we look at this report, it is called Government Efficiency and Effectiveness, but additional opportunities to reduce fragmentation, overlap, and duplication and achieve billions of dollars in financial benefit. So how can we make the government more efficient? Well, don't have a lot of overlap, don't have a lot of duplication, try to be more streamlined and efficient. And it's hard for a government our size to be super efficient, but they have done studies to identify where there are inefficiencies and what we can do about them. And so they issue an annual report on federal programs, agencies, offices, and initiative government-wide in order to look for duplicative goals or duplicative activities. And then they look for different ways to have savings. And so as part of that, they go through and they look at financial savings that they can find by improving the efficiency and effectiveness, and again, in a wide variety of ways. They've done this a few times. This is the 12th version. There's 11 previous annual reports that you can go back and look at, but this is number 12, and it's really trying to find ways to help improve how we spend those tax dollars, right? So we don't want to waste tax dollars by doing duplicate work and being ineffective. And so GAO in 2022 identified 94 additional ways Congress or the executive branch could improve efficiency and effectiveness. So they literally identify this, and there's over 1,200 of these that they've identified over the last 12 years, just to kind of give you some perspective here. So what are some of the examples? This is just a list of examples that they provided in their summary. Department of Ed could use less expensive disposal options for nuclear and hazardous waste. Again, in my opinion, we want to make sure that's also efficient, but also effective and safe. But they have some ideas on how you can save tens of billions of dollars with that type of disposal. Contracting leaders at federal agencies should use metrics measuring cost reduction or avoidance to improve the performance of procurement. We know procurement is wasteful in a lot of ways, and so that's an area of focus even in the single audit world. Congress should consider directing the Department of Health and Human Services to implement payment reductions for skilled nursing that have high rates of potentially preventable readmission and emergency room visits. Again, that's hundreds of millions of dollars. Why not pick on the IRS? They're having some fun in the news lately. So the IRS could improve taxpayer services and better manage refund of interest payments. Again, interest payments are a big deal for the IRS, and that could be $20 million or more annually just by making sure that they can identify why they are paying interest to people. Social Security Administration could save millions of dollars by identifying and addressing causes for overpayment to disability beneficiaries. And again, when we're looking at whether people should be receiving the funds, the Department of Defense, as you can see, they looked at everyone and everything, improving administrative services such as better managing fragmentation in its food program, strengthening ongoing initiative for improper defense travel payments, which again, when we look at the reasons why we do Yellow Book, the reasons why we do single audits. So as I said, this is not new. Starting in 2011 through 2022, GAO has identified 1,299 actions, right? So 1,299 ways that we can reduce cost, increase revenues, or improve efficiency. And the estimate here is about $552 billion that has been in financial benefits as a result of this. So 531 billion have been accrued through 2021, and there's a projected savings of about 21 billion to accrue in 2022 or later. So when we look at this, this is obviously a huge improvement, and people are taking it seriously, right? So as we look at this, right, there's 1,299 identified issues. They fully addressed 724 of them, partially addressed 240. However, again, we can still have tens of billions of dollars more if Congress and the executive branch will address the remaining 469 open items. So kind of an interesting one. We have linked in the notes to the full report so you can kind of get a feel for it. It is very interesting to just see what they look at when they're doing these types of items. And efficiency and effectiveness of the government is obviously a key focus of auditors around the globe. And so we thought you'd be interested in this report. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today on the Genuine Learning blog, and I hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.